So this is me. I am Dishant Shah. So I am actually senior software engineer working at the Ecolab Digital Center. So I have around 5+ years of experience. So my main experience involved around Microsoft technologies only. So I started with ASP.NET, then I moved to WPF, WinForm, Silverlight, you name it. Like I worked on a lot of Microsoft technologies, and my current focus is more majorly on Xamarin and Azure. And this is my contact email or my LinkedIn ID. So if you want to reach out to me and have any questions, then feel free to reach out to me. So today topic session is what's new in Xamarin Forms 4.6. So as you already know that Xamarin just a few weeks back released a new version of Xamarin Forms, which is 4.6. So this version contains a lot of new features, a new enhancement. So that we are going to discuss in this current session. So let's move to the next slide. So 8 new things. So these are the new 8 features or enhancement that has been incorporated as part of latest version of Xamarin Form 4.6. So before that, let me just brief you about as Durgesh mentioned that in the build they have mentioned about some of the roadmap which Xamarin Forms is going through. So there is like a 4.7, 4.8, and Xamarin Forms 5.0 roadmap. So with that, there are a couple of cool new features, and to be be specific, there is going to be new shell 2.0 improvements. Then there is enhancement on tab bar, enhancement on app bar. So there are cool new features coming out with new versions of Xamarin Forms. But today we are going to discuss about these 8 new features, which is already out there, and you can 4.6. You should definitely check this out. So just let me just go through all of them, and then we'll go deep dive into all of the individual sessions. So first one is material design update, and then there is a flyout style classes, then back navigation. So there is expander control which is newly added. Then we have C# markup extension support. Then font embedding enhancements, new radio button control, and app theme color support. So these are all new features or enhancement we can say that which are in 4.6. So I will start presenting each of the session. And before I move, so this session is not just a that introduction session or something like that. I will show you the demo of each of them, and we have 10 minutes after this session, so we can, if you have any queries, so we can discuss about those. And if there is any such queries you want to get answer while I'm demoing something, you can simply use this raise your hand feature, or you can just type in that comment box, so we can take that out. So let's get started. So first feature is, or maybe we can call it not a feature but an enhancement. So first enhancement is a material design update. So as you all know that in Xamarin Forms, I guess 3.6, the Xamarin Forms team added a material design support for Google, for Android and iOS both. So if you are working, like material design is part of Google, right? So in most of the Android application, you will see that they have upgraded to material design. But like if you want the same design type in your iOS application as well, so there was a separate NuGet package with the Visual API. So you can use this material design in your iOS application as well. So that was part of 3.6. But some of you might not be aware that Apple has deprecated UI WebView. So material design was using this UI WebView in the previous versions of the NuGet package. So with 4.6, what they did is they have moved from UI WebView to WK WebView, so that if you submit your applications with the new versions of Xamarin Forms, the chances of getting your app rejected will be less, because if your app is using UI WebView, Apple will not accept your application, and it will reject your app. So that Xamarin teams have taken care of in latest Xamarin 4.6 update. Apart from that, there is a few enhancements like a styling enhancement. So they have added a few styling enhancement for disable text color support, or some other styles which you want for your disable styles. So initially, what was happening that in the material design, when like you suppose you have one button control, and in that button, if you set any disable background color, that will work as expected. But if you try to set text color of the disabled button, it will not update in your Android or or iOS application. So for that, you might have to go with a customer renderer and all that. But you don't have to do those things now. So there is support of disable text color. So let's jump to the demo and I will show you those things. Let me switch to my Visual Studio. So I hope you are able to see my Visual Studio. So let me run this application first and just give the brief overview of the application. You might also have used this application. So this is Xamarin's application. So this is actually official application for Xamarin itself. So which was created when Xamarin 4.5 got launched. So I have used the same application, and I will be incorporating all those Xamarin 4.6 feature into this application. So let's wait for the splash screen. Beautiful splash screen. Let's wait for a second. Okay. So this is the application. So you can see that this is a Xamarin Shell application. So we have this 4 tab. So inside this domestic tab, sorry. So inside this domestic tab, we have another 2 tab like cats and dogs. Then we have different tabs like monkey, elephant, bear, and then we have our shell flyout, which with the navigations, and then we have bottom menu items like about, random, and help. So let me just click on. So okay, so let me switch the tab. So okay, let me kill my emulator. Sorry for that. Just a moment.
Yeah, that's fine. I guess if anyone has questions, they can use chat window, use this opportunity to ask questions or doubts if you have. I was having this impression, like at least with Mac emulators work properly. But
Not sure. Yeah,
yeah,
sometimes I don't.
so even though it happens, like even though you have so much of preparation,
Hey,
emulators
sorry,
always give.
Kalkesh.
Yep.
I think Sharon is having a question. He has raised his hand. Please feel free to unmute yourself, Sharon.
My question will be a little out of context here, but I have a question on the Xamarin. Is that okay to ask?
Yeah,
Yes,
go ahead.
Yeah, please.
So I wanted to understand this. See, we have a mobile app which should work in both offline and online mode, right? And we have got a backend which exposes the API on the Azure. So how are you gonna perform a sync? Currently, what I have recommended is that API-based exposer, which is going to consume your entire domain model using the sync engine which is available in the Xamarin. Through that, it's what it does the syncing operation. Or do we have any other efficient way of doing it?
So your question is specific to the syncing of your data to that particular API, right? Mm-hmm.
Actually, we wanted to sync it, but what are the best options are available? We wanted to see, because I see that there is some mobile sync data was available in Azure. I think that needs to be outdated now.
Okay. So from the mobile perspective, what I have like experienced in as part of the best practices, you should do it in your background service. In case if you want to sync the application, and you can also use if you have a that startup activity in your mobile app during that flash. But I would suggest not to use that if your data could be large, right? So just like in order to do that offline sync, use background services. Maybe if someone has used any other better approach, you can try that. So I would, yeah, that I would suggest. And you can use also the caching part of it. Are you using any caching in your application?
Yeah. As of now, no, it is a starting phase of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have a I'll try to share, like, I have one of the best practices with Xamarin Forms. So I one of the app I was working on, I could share that contains even the offline capabilities as well. Yeah, I could share that.
Sure. Probably I will do a follow up with you because I need
Yep.
that. Yeah.
Sure.
So can we do even the sync process using the push notification feature? Any idea on that?
Push notifications are meant for actually something else. I'm not sure.
Okay,
Like,
sorry to interrupt, guys. I think Samir, I mean, sorry, Dishan got his thing, so maybe we
Okay,
can we take this
Okay,
later?
sure.
Yeah.
yep, sure.
Sorry. Yeah.
Sure, no issues. Thanks. So let me just rerun the application. I think this will work this time. So while it's loading, I will just show you the UI of that. So this is the project structure. So let me just show you the project structure first. So this we have this MVVM pattern. We have views, view models. Then we have on data controls, etc. So and apart from that, this is like an Android project and iOS project. So for this project, we don't have any custom render or something. It's just a plain Android and iOS project. And I can show you that what are the dependencies we have right now. So we are in Xamarin Forms 4.6 and we have visual material also to 4.6, and the same for other applications as well. So both our frameworks are updated and latest. I guess there is like a few days back there was another minor version of Xamarin got released, which was 4.6.800. So you can also check that out. But I think those are majorly on bug fixes. I don't. There is no new any enhancement done. So, but sure, you can check that out. So this is the application which I was showing previously. So we have these two tabs, and if we switch this tab, so you can see how that color is changing of all the tabs. So this is really a good sample reference. And like suppose if I am in any particular tab, if I select like suppose if I go and select this monkey, which is baboon, it will just show some images where it originated from and some small details. So this is pretty much small applications with which demonstrates Xamarin Shell and Xamarin 4.5 feature. So let's go ahead and add some of the features and improvements which we got on Xamarin Forms 4.6. So let's just go to this about menu. So you can see this is the about menu, like a small about page. So we have this learn more button. So right now it has some color code. So as we mentioned that with Xamarin Forms 4.6 material update, we got new enhancements and style support for is disable button. So let me go ahead to that particular view. So I have this about page view, about page.xml. And if I go to the bottom, you can see there is this button, and you can see that the styling is the learn more button. So I have this page style. This is the learn more button style, and in that I have set some of the properties, and I have this visual state manager. So I have two visual states. So one is normal and one is disabled. So let me just make that button disabled. So I will remove these commands and command parameters, and the set is enable equals to false. Let me hit save. I am using hot reload, so it should update my application. Here we go. So you can see that my button background got changed, and also the text color got changed. So it seems like button is now disabled. So this feature is now supported in 4.6. Previously, as I mentioned, that only you are able to set button background color both in Android and iOS. But now you have additional capability to set the text color, and also some of the other properties also you can test. You can use the if you like to use. Let me change to some other color so that you can have a better idea on what we are doing. So I'm changing the text color to yellow. Not good, but it works. So this is what we are getting as part of material design update. Let me change it to green background color. Yep. So very beautiful feature. So this is how we can. If you don't want to go and create your custom renderer, or if you have created a custom renderers already, and if you are switching to 4.6, this feature you should definitely check out. So you can remove your custom renderers and can create some styles, global styles, or maybe inline styles, and you can use this disable feature. So this is the first feature, or maybe we can call it some of the updates we got as part of the material design update. Let's jump to the next one. Okay, so next one is flyout style classes. So as you already most of you have already worked on Xamarin Shell and flyout. So the main pain was that if in case if you want to do some styling to your flyout class, you might have to update your entire data template, or maybe you have to write some custom classes for do those style wise changing. But with Xamarin from 4.6, we got this 3 new style class, which is already baked in this framework itself. So the first style class is the flyout item label style. So that will apply to your text and the labels. Second one is flyout item icon style, which will apply to icon and icon. And the last one is a flyout item layout style, which will apply to entire container. So like if you want to just want to change your text, or you want to just change your icon, you can just simply use any of those style instead of creating any custom styles or custom data templates. So let me show. Let's jump to the demo. So okay, so let me go to my shell page. Okay. So this is my shell page, and if I scroll down, so you can see that I have this one flyout item. Then we have shell content menu item and few menu items. So in that flyout item, I have some like cats, dogs, and all other animals. We have monkeys. So as you already saw the application, so inside the animals we have 2 tabs, and apart from that there are 3 more tabs, which is like monkey, elephants, and bears. So this is the structure of my flyout right now. So let's see the old school way, like in case if you want to change. So if I go to the application, so right now you can see that this white background is coming whenever I click any menu. So you can see this color is white color. Flyout item selected color is there. So in case if you want to change this color, previously what you have to do is there was this shell item template. So in that what you have to do is you have to create your own data template. You have to put in your grid, your image, your label, and apart from that you have to also add another style so that you can set that item background color or selected item background color. But those things we don't have to do if you are using 4.6. So I can show you how easily we can change all those stylings. So let's first go with this label style. So I have this flyout item label style. So let me just uncomment this. So with this style, what I am achieving is just I want to change my text color and my text decoration. So in case if you want to just do that, you can add this flyout item label style. Let me comment other style right now, which we'll discuss later on. So hit save. Let's wait a couple of seconds. Okay, here we go. So you can see this that the text color has now changed to origin, and there is underline to the text. Might not be that visible, but it is there. So just if you want to change any styles for your flyout labels and all that, you can just use this flyout item label style, which will give you all the controls to update the styling for your labels. Apart from that, let's move to flyout item image style. So what it will do, it will help you to change the styling of your image. So I am setting this image background color to gray. So let's see how it looks. Not good, but it works. So you can see that now my image background color is set to gray. So in case if you want to do some styling on your image, you can definitely use this flyout item image style. And the last one is a flyout item layout style. So this style will apply to entire flyout layout. So let's see what stylings we have in this layout. So I have set height request to 44, and then I have this visual states. So I have these two visual states: normal, selected, and disable. So in that selected state, I have said that if to set background color to this color code. So let me save and see if, what changes you are able to see. Okay, so you can see now my background flyout selected background got changed to that custom color. So if I change to some other control, so it got a change. So this is how you can do entire your flyout stylings with this new flyout style classes. So to recap this, we have three styles: flyout item label style if you want to update your label, then flyout item image style if you want to update your flyout image, and lastly flyout item layout style if you want to update entire flyout layout. You can set some other properties like flyout background color and all that, and then you can set the selected item background color, disable item background color, and all the cool stuff you can do with this just a three style. So you don't have to go creating your custom data template or item template. So you can just simply use this style. Pretty good feature. So let's move to our next feature. Back navigation. So this is another cool new feature. So I guess if you are using Xamarin Form Shell, so the current navigation system is like you have to pass entire route. So even if you want to go back, you have to pass the route to which page you have to go back. But with the latest update, you don't have to do that anymore if you want to just go back. So there is this new parameter added to your go to async method. So which is double dot. So if you pass this parameter, it will automatically consider as a back navigation. So it is nothing but like you might have been familiar with a cd dot dot, which will move you to the one level up directory. So it's something like that only. So you can, if you want to just go one page up, you can pass a dot dot, and there are a couple of parameters apart from that, which is like dot dot slash dot dot. So if you do that, if you want to navigate to hierarchy up, you can pass that parameter. So and there is also another parameter like dot dot question mark and then query string. So if you want to pass any parameter while navigating back, you can use that feature also. So like most of you must be having this question that why they don't have go to instead of those parameters, why don't they just added a go back method. So there is some design specs going around that how to incorporate this. But as this is not just about passing like a double dot, there are other few parameters like if you want to navigate to hierarchy up or you want to pass some parameter while navigating back. So this feature is very useful. In future, you might expect some few methods like go back with some, but that due to some naming convention issue, that the spec is still in progress or in review. But the Xamarin team is still working on how to make it more friendly. So let's jump into the demo. So as you can see that if I jump to any page, you can see all the page has this back button. So like suppose if you want to override this back button, what you might be doing that you might be subscribing to that back navigated event, and then you might be finding what is the current route, and based on that you might do some navigation. But let me show the easiest way how can you do that do the back navigation. So suppose let me switch to any one page. I have this page already set up. Okay, so I have this monkey details page, and you can see that there is one feature like a back button behavior. So in this back button behavior, you can pass some behaviors like you can set your command like I have set the back command. So now I can do my custom back event. Then it's just a binding context, and then I have icon override. So I don't want to use this default back button. Instead, I have my customized back button. So I have put that icon as well. And let's go to our view model and see what is there in our back button event handler. So let me switch to my view model. Okay. So here I have this back command event or I command. let me just uncomment, and in that you can see I am using shell.current.go to async, and I am passing that to Eclipse. So this is what the custom back button I have. So let's run this application and see how it's working. So as I mentioned, if you want to this will only go one page level up. If you want to go to one more like a two page back, you can use dot/dot. So it will move to two pages, two level ups. And if you want to pass any query parameter, you can just type in your name, like name equals to, and then some name. So this is how this back navigation update will work. Sorry. So while it's debugging, let me know if you have any questions, or let me just check on the chat if somebody have posted any questions. Okay, no questions. Okay, it's deploying. A few seconds. Okay, let me set one breakpoint here so that we can know that our breakpoint is in. Come on. Okay, while it's loading, let's move to our new features. I'll show both the demo at once. So let's switch to our PPT. So another new feature is expand and control. So in Xamarin Forms 4.6, they have added this new expand and control, very cool control. So now you don't have to do any custom control, so you don't have to use any plugins library if you want to use any accordion or expander in your application. So this feature is still one of the experimental features. So you need to enable this expander underscore experimental flag, and this is very easy to use control. So we have this expander control, and inside that there is this two separation. So one is expander header and expander content. So whatever you want to set in your expander header, you can set inside this tab, and whatever you want to set as part of your content, you can put in this expander content. Very easy to use control, and very useful control if you are using some modern UI and you want to use this feature. So let's switch back to my Visual Studio, and we'll see if it's running. Okay, so the application is running right now. So okay, let me switch to this monkey tab. Let me go to so that command is getting initialized, so that's why our breakpoint got set. Okay. So here you can see that this back button icon now is updated to the custom icon, and when I hit this back button, you can see that it hits to that go to async method, and let me continue, and it will navigate back. So very useful feature. So now you don't have to pass entire route. So if you don't know that what route you came from, you can just use go to async and with two dots. So that's the back button update in Xamarin Forms 4.6. Let's move to our expand and control. So I have this same page. Go to this XAML page. So right now you can see that. Let me click again. You can see that there is this text here. So let's put this text in the expand and control, and let's see how it goes. So let me comment this label. If I don't want this label, I will put that label in the expand and control. So I have this expand and control. Let me just uncomment this first. Here we go. So in this control, you can see I have this expander header, and this is so whatever you put outside expander header will be considered as the body. So you don't have to explicitly tell that or explicitly set expander.content. So by default, it's content only. So in that header, I have this label and I have this image, and that image I have data trigger. So let's see how it looks. Okay, cool. So we have this header view info, and I have this icon here. So let's click on the view info. Click is not working. Okay, here we go. So you can see that on clicking that this nice animation will come, and you can see that the content of this expander control, and also you can see that on the right side that icon also got updated. So let me close this. Okay, very full control. So you can do all those customization. This is just a simple example of how can you use your expander control, but you can customize that and create a very beautiful UI with this control. So that was this expander control. Let's jump to our next feature. Let me switch to my PowerPoint. Okay. The next one is a C# markup extension. So like there might be some scenarios in which you don't want to use XAML and you want to create your entire UI using the C#. So that scenario might be like if there is some dynamic page or something like that. In that scenario, so you might be wondering that how that instead of using XAML, the best approach will be to create that C# page on the go. So for that, in the previous version, you have that capability, but that was a little bit harder. So, but with this C# markup extension, we have few cool extension methods, so which we can use and create your C# page very easily. So this is also one of the experimental features. So you have to enable this markup underscore experimental tag, and there are these three namespaces which is part of this markup extension, and this is a small demo. So this is this entry control, and with that we have these new methods like how to set the style, row, margin, and bind. So let's quickly go and so I have these other two new features. So let's first let me go through that, and then all of three I will show the demo at once. So the next feature is this radio button feature, again an experimental feature. So as you might have been using the traditional application like the radio button, the most awaited control which we were requesting for. So now this is available as part of Xamarin Forms 4.6. So it's a very straightforward control. It's just a radio button, and then with that you can set your text and the group name. So group name is the group name should be same for all the buttons which you want to group at once. So like I have these three radio buttons, small, medium, large, and I have grouped into one name called size. So and I have put that in the stack layout. So very easy to use control. But don't forget to set this radio button experimental flag, otherwise you will get a runtime error. And let me switch to the another control, font embedding. So this is also very useful update. As you might have already aware, like font embedding was available as part of Xamarin Forms 4.5. So where instead of putting fonts in individual project, what you can do is you can directly use that TTF or OTF file into your main Xamarin Forms project, and then you can set this content like as an embedded resource. So with that, you can easily use that font in all of your Android and Xamarin, iOS project. But when you are using that feature, there was one issue. Like I will show you what was the issue was in when I am going to show the demo. And there is this new update. So you can set your font family with a static resource, and you can pass your alias name. So with this, it will work on all the cross platform, whether it is iOS, Android, or UWP. So let's go to our demo and quickly see all those three cool new features. So I have this contact us page. So this entire page is created using C#. There is no XAML for this page. So let me just quickly navigate you those controls which I added as part of this page. So as I mentioned, I have added few of the markup extension namespace, and apart from that, I have this build method. So what this build method will do, it will construct your entire UI. I have set it that visual state to material, and there is this frame, and the most important thing is the row this grid. So this grid has three row definitions. So in that I have three rows: title, content, and push. So this is the just enum which I have created, and inside that individual row, like title row, I have this label, and then in the second row I have this stack layout with the name, email, and message. So this is a contact us page, so we must require this these labels and text box. And then we have, as I mentioned, that there is this new radio button control. So I have also placed that radio button. So we have this radio button for gender and gender, male and female, and then the action button. So it is just a send button. You can see how easily it's to create. So if you want to just set the margin, so you can just set margin like a top margin 20. You don't have to explicitly tell that 20, 10, 20, something like that. If you want to just the top margin, just set top 20. So it will, what it will do, it will set this button margin 20 from the top. And I have said that this row should be go in the row.content, which is my second row. And lastly, I have this image, just a small image to show the font image source. So you can see I have used this font image source. So let me show you where my font is. So in my common folder, I have this font FS 900, which is nothing but a font or some font. And you can see I have set build action to embedded source. So so most of you might be aware that if you want to use font awesome icon, there is this Unicode which you have to map inside your label, so like that. So instead of doing that, what I did is I have created my icon fonts. So these are all my icon fonts with those Unicodes. And if you want to use embedded font, the most important thing is you have to set this export font. You can set anywhere in your assembly. Maybe you can set in assembly info.cs, but I prefer to set in this file only because this is the file which is mostly dealing with the font thing. And you can see I have set export font. So this is my font file name, and I have set alias to font awesome. So as I mentioned that this is not any new feature which is part of 4.6. This you can do this in 4.5 as well. But what was happening that suppose you have set your alias to font awesome, and now if you refer to this alias in your Android and iOS project, it will work only for Android but not on iOS, because in older version of Xamarin Forms, iOS was expecting still a font name, not the alias name. So like if my font name is something else, it will not consider this alias. So that issue is fixed now. So if you set this alias to anything, and if you run this application in your Android or iOS, it will work as expected. So that is the important upgrade which we got as part of 4.6. Let me switch to my contact us page. So I have set this font family. So you can either set your entire font name, or you can just set to font awesome. But let's just use this export font so that I don't have to run the application again. But even if you send font awesome, it will work. So let me show how this contact us page looks like. But before that, I have to change my app shell. So let me add one more menu, contact menu. So let me comment this help. I don't want help. I want the contact us form. Okay. Let's switch to our application. Okay, so I have this contact us page. Let me just quickly navigate to that page. Okay, here we go. So you can see that entire this page is defined in the C#. So we have this label header called contact. Then we have this form, which is the second row, and the last row is just the font image source. So we have this name, email, and message. So we can for this page also I am using this material design. If I click on this name, you can see how this material UI pops up. Like name will go at the top. So pretty good looking. And then I have this button, radio buttons, which is newly introduced in 4.6. So you can see if I click any of that button, you can set the default, but as I didn't set any default value, it's just empty. But you can set that the default property also is enabled to true. Let me click on that. Okay, here we go. So cool. So this is how that radio button, very easy control and very useful control. And then as I showed that I have used this font image source. So you can see if I go to this contact us page, I have set this envelope, which is a glyph. So and this is the Unicode for that. And I have set the size to 88 and color to light gray. So you can see that this envelope is coming now. So these are the three new features. So first one was font embedding, then this radio button, and then this C# markup extension. So those are pretty new enhancements done as part of Xamarin Forms 4.6. And this entire markup extension is following builder design pattern. So you can just use a dot and you can create like a, if you want to just make your entire image to center, you can use this center extension method. So now you don't have to set horizontal alignment, vertical alignment. Just say center, and it will automatically take care of all this stuff. Pretty good. So I guess we are running out of time, but I have last one feature pending. So let's quickly jump to that and we'll wrap up this session. And the last but not the least feature is app theme color. So you might be using this Android and iOS with multiple theming support. Like we have like light theme and dark theme. But if you are using the previous version of Xamarin Forms, what you have to do is, so you have to create different theme resources like light theme resource, dark theme resource, and then you have to listen to that application theme change event, and then you have to update all those property. So those things you don't have to do it anymore. This is also one of the experimental features. So you have to enable this app theme _ experimental feature. And once that is done, what you have to simply do is in your application tab, you have to set your app theme color. So I have few app theme colors like a page background color. So like light color will be white and dark color will be black. Then I have primary color, secondary color, and that's the only thing you have to do. And then your XAML, what you have to do is you have to just refer using dynamic resource. So one caveat with this feature is it will only work on Xamarin Forms 4. Obviously Xamarin Forms 4.6 and higher, but it will only work on iOS 13 plus and Android 10 plus, which is API 29. So if you are using some API 28 or 27, this feature will not work. You have to update your SDK in order to support this feature. So I am using the older SDK only, so I don't have a demo for that, but I have this code snippet which I will quickly show you. Even we are running out of time, so let's just stick with the code snippet. Let me switch to one of the page. About page. So you can see that I have set this app theme color. So you can give any key name for this theme, and how to use this. Like suppose is in this background color. What I did is I have used this dynamic resource and give the key. So by default, as I am running the older version of Android, like I have this 28 API, so it will only take the light color, which is coral. But if you are using this latest API 10 plus, sorry 29 plus and Android 10 plus or iOS 13 plus, what it will do, if your application or OS theme is light color, it will take coral color. But if you switch this theme to dark theme, then it will automatically switch your background color to orchid. And this doesn't work only for background color or colors. You can also create your app theme resources for images. Like if you want to set a dark any images as per the theme. Like for light theme, you want to specify any particular image, and for dark theme, you have to specify any another image. You can also do that. Just use app theme color, and light and dark, you pass that particular icon resource or icon path, and that will work like same as the color only. So this is all about app theme color, and this sums up all the eight cool new feature which we got as part of Xamarin Forms 4.6. I hope this session was very informative, and you might you have now, if you're using 4.6, you can now use all those cool new features and try out all those cool stuff in your application. So let's switch to Q&A. So let me know if you have any questions. You can unmute yourself, and we can start our Q&A sessions. Thank you all.
Thank you, Dishant. That was very informative, and I was just going with the flow that you should keep on continuing and show us latest and greatest of Xamarin. And I'm excited to play with all of these controls. One of my favorite is Expander. Yep.
Yeah,
So,
favorite.
yep.
Very
And I think, guys, if you have any questions, so we can utilize this time. Especially, if any of you have tried these latest controls into your apps, if you have got any questions, doubts, feel free to use this time. Yep. You can also unmute yourself and you can ask questions. Yep. I'm just going through the chat window also. So we had a good conversation in the chat, like a lot of new questions and debate, kind of who likes XAML and who likes C#. So because we saw you like coding in C#, so
yeah, this is actually very good feature. So like if you want to do some means like if you want, there is any requirement, like you want to create any control or any page dynamically on the fly, you can create those things using XAML. So those things is very helpful. And the extension method which we are getting as part of this markup extension, those are really helpful. So you don't have to explicitly set all those properties. So that's really helpful, and I'm also looking to use some of the places in my applications.
Yep. So have you used like from this I remember one question. So there is this C# for UI spec where like I think Vincent from our community was working on, and from long time, and I think this is getting added to Xamarin Forms 4.6 as an experimental flag. So have you did you get chance to try with that? I believe hot reload also is something which they are like inbuilt capability with C# UI. So those who usually code with C#, their UIs earlier with XAML hot reload, they were not able to, I think, like iterate over the UI. But with this spec, which is C# for UI, you should be able to use hot reload. So how is your experience with that? Yeah.
I think this is the what that C# for UI was they have what they have incorporated as part of this markup extension. So they have put some of the extension method from that. So maybe I might be wrong, but as per the documentation I was referring to, they have used some of the markup extensions from that C# for UI. And as you mentioned that, yeah, it's really painful. Like if you want to do any changes in the C# hot reload is not working. So there is one commercial plugin right now, like LiveSharp or something like that, which that is a commercial product. So there is no trial version or something like that. But if you are like looking into that, you can use it. But it will be very nice if we can get it as part of Xamarin Forms itself. That will make a lot of things very easy.
Yep. Thanks for sharing this. Yeah. And I think I'm just going through most of the questions. So there were questions related to, specific questions related to setting up an icon across the editor, which I believe Samir has already answered. And there is another question which we will be trying to take a look at within the, I mean, like next session. I think it's, yep, it's related to the font size issue. So with maybe you can take a look. Yeah. Mhm.
Sure. Let me check that.
Okay. And I think they haven't like I haven't heard related to anything related to the fluent design. I know David was working on it, and many of our community members would like to have it. But as part of 4.6, did you find anything related to fluent design was getting
Uh,
incorporated?
I don't think so. Fluent Design is yet ready for the global rollout, but I think as part of MAUI, it will be part of that directly. Because as part of the roadmap, I don't see any update on that. But with MAUI, I am definitely sure that it will be based on the Fluent UI, because entire what we call entire project is based on fluid framework. So I am expecting that as part of MAUI.
Yep. Yeah, even I'm excited for that.
Yeah, that's actually very good looking. Like in UWP, you can use it, but for Android iOS, it's still not available. So we have to deal with the material design for now. But if you are using UWP, you can still use this Fluid framework.
Yep. Guys, feel free to unmute yourself if you have any questions. Utilize your time, and then we can jump to our break, where you can either have, grab something to eat. Unfortunately, with virtual sessions, we do not have a coffee breaks, which we usually have with our in-person meetups. So you could use this time to grab something, and also introduce yourself if you'd like to go ahead with networking, what projects you are working on, how is your experience so far with Xamarin, and also with our events, like going forward, if you would like to have, because my personally favorite is like a hack night or hackathon kind of. We could also start utilizing that, building the app together. Let us know. You can unmute yourself. I think